What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to do another top 10 video for you guys. This time around, boys, we're going to be looking at the top 10 best supervillains in Marvel Future Fight. However, we're going to go ahead and exclude all of the tier 2 natives from this list. So no Apocalypse, no Thanos, no Corvus, no Dormammu. We're just going to focus on the tier 1 base supervillains that can be advanced to tier 2 because of the fact that they don't get a lot of love and they're often outshined by all of the tier 2 natives across the board. Okay, guys, so for this list, I'm going to give you guys my top 10. And at the end of the video, I'll also leave you guys with a few honorable mentions. So with that said, guys, we're going to start from number 10 and work our way all the way up to number 1. And number 10 on this list for me, guys, is a new villain that came to this game. And to be honest, he surprised pretty much everyone. No one was expecting this guy to be as good as he is. And I think he's truly a really good supervillain that you should most definitely build. Number 10 is actually a shared spot because I really and truly could not decide between these two characters. However, if you can decide, let me know what your thoughts are, and also let me know what your top 10 list looks like. Okay, enough stalling, let's jump right into it, and that is Yuli's Claw. This guy's actually a fantastic character, very good DPS even at tier 1, and he's also very easy to use. His freaking kit comes with multiple iframes, and on top of that he comes with a guard, and he also has a freaking amazing tier 2 passive. One of the best tier 2 passive on this list, and on top of that, it also applies to his teammates. So he doubles as a support type, and he's very good on his own. So for that reason, I absolutely have to put this guy on the list. He's great for Shadowland, great for World Boss, and great for Extreme Alliance Battle as well. The other person that I put in the number 10 spot with him is actually Sandman, one of the best free-to-play combat characters currently in the game. So if you don't have this guy currently built, definitely go ahead and do that. He's a great character, guys. In his kit, he has a couple different iframes. On top of that, his 3 skill gives him a pretty good buff. His 4-star passive gives him physical immunity and a heal. Yeah, believe it. And his 4 skill right here is a full iframe, and on top of that, he has a very good 5 skill that does pretty good damage, and it gives him complete immunity. Very good character. His tier 2 passive is not all that much, but overall I think Sandman is a formidable character that you should definitely build up. He is very good, especially if you don't have premium characters in your roster like Carnage. Okay, so keep that in mind, boys. So that's the number 10 spot. Number 9 for me is a character that most definitely needs her uniform to make this list. If she does not have her uniform, she does not make the list and she doesn't make the mentions. Keep that in mind, okay? Number 9 is a character that I absolutely love, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Some of you guys may even put her higher up this list, but I really and truly could not do that, and you guys will see why in a second. Number 9, guys, Hela. A very good character, a fan favorite by many people, and a lot of us actually love her in this uniform. She looks fantastic, and she is truly fantastic. Definitely deserving of a spot on the top 10 for me. In this uniform, she gets several new iframes, and she also gets invincibility on her 4 skill, making her a fairly formidable character. The uniform also gives her additional damage to hero types to go along with her amazing leadership. As you can see right here, she gives you a 45% bump to your DPS. Definitely a good character in this uniform. Without the uniform though, you're probably only gonna ever use her for her leadership. She is a struggle bus to use if you do not have her in the uniform. However, in the uniform, very solid character. Next character on this list for me, guys, number 8 is actually a character that most definitely needs to have his tier 2 passive. Okay, if he doesn't have his tier 2 passive, he's very hard to keep alive, but he has good DPS. However, once you get him to tier 2, he becomes very easy to use, and the fact that he has a decent DPS makes him a very good character, one of the best in his class, no doubt, and that is Scourge the Executioner. A character that you have at tier 1, he will disappoint you time and time again by dying on you, but when you get him to tier 2, because of the fact that he has a guard on the 3 skill and very long invincibility on his 5 skill, thanks to his freaking tier 2 passive, he actually becomes a formidable character. He also has a few stuns and a few iframes in his kit. So overall, a very solid character. Once you get him to tier 2, he will not disappoint you as often as he would if you kept him at tier 1. Okay, guys, so number 8 for me actually has to be Scourge the Executioner, guys. Another character on this list kind of needs his uniform to be as high as I have him ranked, so keep that in mind. And that is actually Eric Killmonger in his Black Panther uniform, a character that is not as good as everyone wanted him to be. However, he's still a force to be reckoned with if built properly and you learn how to use his iframes and time them properly. He also has a really good 2 skill, which is basically an ISO set proc that you can keep up indefinitely when you use the character. Overall, a very solid character. However, since he's a premium character and a fan favorite, he definitely gets a bit of hate because a lot of people wanted him to be on the level of someone like Black Panther, which he's really not. Okay, Black Panther in his uniform compared to Eric Killmonger in his uniform, it's a really big difference. However, he's still a solid character for ABX, Shadowland, and World Boss. I've actually seen some Eric Killmonger in timeline battle that are actually formidable. They're definitely not dominant, but they're definitely formidable if used properly. So gotta give the character some props. Definitely deserving of a spot on this list. Maybe not as high as I have him ranked, but nonetheless he deserves to be here as one of the best supervillains currently in the game. Next character on this list is another fan favorite, and that is actually going to be Vulture, guys. A very easy character to use. Uniform for him, not really required, but it's definitely recommended because it makes playing the character significantly more smooth. It is so much fun to use Vulture. Great DPS, great survivability. Overall, very good character. When you use this guy, you can just chain iframes all day and literally kill anything and anyone you put him up against. He's one of the very few characters in this game that can pick apart Jean Grey. Yeah, he's that good, boys. All you got to do with this guy is get max skill cooldown and chain 5, 4, and 1 back to back, and literally you get yourself a very easy win with this guy. Crazy stuff. Vulture in this uniform, absolute beast. Definitely deserving of the 6th spot, if not higher on this list. Number 5 for me, guys, is actually going to be the former king of the combat class, and you guys immediately know who I'm talking about, and that is Carnage, a character that kind of needs his tier 2 passive, and a character that is becoming less and less, I would say, relevant, but he's still a very solid pickup. Very solid pickup, guys. Great DPS, great survivability in the form of invincibility on his 5 skill, similar to Scourge once you get into tier 2. And on top of that, he has iframes and healing in his kit. Very solid character across the board for any game mode. And as long as he doesn't get debuffed for invincibility, he's actually very hard to deal with. One of my go-tos for dealing with the spiders and stuff like Shadowland, and one of my go-tos for pretty much anything that I need a solid combat character for. Number 4 is a character that is very good across the board. I had to put her a little bit higher than Carnage just because of the fact that her charm is amazing. That is the reason why she's so high on this list. Her charm works in anything and anyone, anywhere, anytime. Okay, that is the only reason why she's on this list, because of the charm. Like, take away the charm and she is very far down this list. Very far down this list because of the fact that she doesn't have very good DPS. But the charm makes her fantastic because she comes with the charm under 2 because of her 4-star passive. On top of that, she comes with a guard and she comes with several different iframes. Overall, she's a solid character. I just wish she had more DPS, but the charm is freaking amazing. That's why she's so high on this list, guys. If you have Enchantress, or if you've ever encountered one in PvP and you don't have debuff removal, you'll know that that charm is a nightmare. Okay, definitely a nightmare. So number 4 on this list, very solid character, very easy to use, universally useful, and that is Enchantress. A character that I am very fond of is holding down the number 3 spot. One of the easiest characters to play. When you play this guy, you can play the game on auto freaking pilot. Okay, that is Magnus. One of my favorite, one of your favorite. If you don't like Magneto, listen, what are you doing with your life? You gotta like Magneto, okay? Go relive your childhood and learn to love Magneto. Okay, Magneto, very good character across the board. This guy, the only thing he needs in his kit is just faster DPS. So I'm really hoping that he gets a uniform sometime down the road that does that for him. Amazing kit on this guy. Comes with a guard, comes with an amazing buff on the 5 skill. One of the best 5 skills in this game, even though it doesn't give him the biggest attack buff. And the reason why it's amazing is because it constantly refreshes. Meaning, if you go up against someone that tries to debuff you, this thing, because it's not up all the time, it just refreshes every other second. That means if they debuff you, immediately after, it will just come back and you'll get that 15% attack buff. Great freaking character. This skill is amazing because it stun locks the enemies, and on top of that, he comes with several different iframes. Magneto, truly a masterpiece in this game. Truly a masterpiece. One that, if you don't love, you need to learn to love. Definitely worth the crystals that I invested in this guy. Number 2 is a character that needs his uniform to be as highly ranked as he is on this list. However, if he has this uniform, he is one of the most dominant characters in this game across the board. World Boss Ultimate, Shadowland, you name it, all the way up to like floor 29, he can do it, okay? And if I can find this guy right now, is actually the Prince of Lies. The Prince of Lies, okay? Freaking Loki, the god of Future Fight. Honestly, this guy has been in the conversation since Future Fight was a thing. Ever since Loki's released, Loki has been a very dominant character in this game, and to this day he still is. There's very few characters that has dominated the game like Loki has, okay? Loki, the grandfather of Future Fight. There's not much to say about this guy. Amazing kit. His clones is where the majority of the magic happens, but he has an amazing freaking 3 skill that you can literally just put your clones up, run like hell, and he'll win you many fights. He's done that for me. Like literally, Loki is the key to success in this game, regardless of whether you have the uniform. But with this uniform, he becomes even more dominant, more amazing. The only thing Loki can't do is PvP. That's it. PvE, he's a god, truly a god in every sense of the word. I need not say anymore. Number 1 on this list, guys, is actually going to be Ant-Man. Similar to Loki, this character cannot do PvP. However, PvE, this guy will massacre anything, anywhere, anytime. Absolute beast, the highest DPS in character currently in this game, Ant-Man. It makes me sad I don't have him to tier 2 yet, but eventually I will get him there. Amazing character with an amazing kit, guys. Damage immunity on the 1 skill, iframe on the 2 skill, freaking amazing buff on the 3 skill, great 4-star passive, channel on the 4 skill, and an amazing freaking 5 skill as well. On top of that, one of the best leaderships in the game. 45% increase to all attack for everyone. Amazing. Truly amazing, guys. This guy shouldn't even be on this list because of the fact that he feels like you're playing a freaking tier 2 native. But then again, Loki in his uniform is pretty close to tier 2 native status. It kind of feels not fair to put Ant-Man here because he's the king of PvE. He really is. And yeah, so with that said, guys, let's jump into some of the freaking mentions, characters that I think are very good that just didn't make the list this time around. For me personally, for you, they may definitely be there because they're very good characters. Another character similar to Loki that's been in the conversation for best character in the game for as long as Future Fight has been a thing is actually this guy. Good old Yellow Jacket. Uniform, not required. Definitely gives him a little bit of AoE on the 4 skill, but apart from that, he's still a very good character. Solid DPS, very easy to use. All you really got to do with this guy ever is just 5-4, right into 2, and then right back into that. Kite a little bit if you need to, but he has amazing DPS, very easy to use, and a very solid character. Mine is actually built very well, and there's very little that Yellow Jacket can't do. ABX is one of those because he kind of like, he's a single target suppression type character. And if he had a little bit more AoE and a little bit better range on some of his skills, he would most definitely be on the list as one of the best, like top 10. But for me, right now, he slowly fell a little bit down. Number 2 in the mentions, guys, is actually going to be Titania. And for the very same reason. On top of being able to be very easily used in the game modes like World Boss, Shadowland, and even Alliance Battle, granted she doesn't have as high as a damage cap, she's still a very good character. She has a very good 3 skill that makes her immune to damage. On top of that, she has a very good 5 skill that has really good damage and amazing leadership, one of the best in the game. And she also has a very good tier 2 passive as well. It only applies to her, but nonetheless, she is a very good character that you should most definitely build. If you're new to this game, you should definitely pick her up as one of your first characters. Another character that I have to put in the mentions, guys, is actually this guy. A very easy character to use, Baron Mordo. Do not ever buy this uniform for him. The uniform is trash. Don't buy it. stick to the classic look. Mordo, very easy character to use once you figure out the rotation for him and play him according to the situation. Lots of iframes, decent CC, comes with a guard, and if you find yourself in a one-on-one fight, you can lock down the enemy with this one skill. Very solid character, guys. Believe me when I say, if you're farming for those memory mission characters, after you get Ancient One, build Mordo, learn how to use the characters, watch some of my videos, and he will do very, very well for you in stuff like Shadowland and even World Boss. Even if his stuns don't work there, if you use him properly, he will definitely get the job done, boys. So Mordo has to be on the mentions for me. Another character that is very, very easy to use, doesn't have as high a DPS as Mordo, but still a very good character, is actually Mysterio. Very underrated, and when he came out, I gotta admit, I was one of the people who shitted on him because of his low DPS, but he more than makes up for that with his survivability. If used properly, he can be in a state where he's just iframed all the freaking time. Iframes all day. Literally, when you use this guy, all you have to do, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. Say no more. And as long as you don't run out of time, you get a win. Very easy character to use. Very, very easy character to use. Just get max skill cooldown, which is pretty easy to do because of his leadership. So he's one of those fundamentally useful characters for when you're just starting the game. Definitely useful, guys. And even if you're at endgame content for stuff like Shadowland, he's a very solid villain. Definitely pick up freaking Mysterio, guys. Another character that I have to put on here, a character that got very, very good. And to be honest, his kit is very simple. Very, very simple. There's two things in this man's kit that makes him a very good character. Believe it or not. Like, his DPS is not out there, but he actually has pretty good survivability in the fact that he has one singular iframe, guys. But the fact of the matter is, he's actually still pretty damn good. And the fact that his iframe is on the same skill that gives him a guard, which generally I hate, because if you have the guard on another skill and the iframe on another skill, then you can get out of the guard, use the iframe to transition back into the guard, and you're even more safe. But this guy is just so freaking good under the right circumstances. I've actually done so much with him. World Boss, Shadowland, even Alliance Battle. Dr. Octopus, definitely a really good character. It's surprising when he's this good when some of the fan favorite like Hawkeye, War Machine are actually still trash. So yeah, definitely a good character. One that if you're farming for story mission characters should be a high priority on your list, because you don't need to do anything like buy a uniform for him. You just build the character, build him offensively, and he'll get a lot of the content done for you. Okay, definitely not an end game character, more so a character that you use when you're very, very new and you're still developing your roster. Definitely worth investing in, guys. So go ahead and pick up the good old Doctor, and he won't let you down. Last character that I have to throw on this list right here is actually Lizard. Believe it or not, this guy's actually decent. He's decent mainly for Shadowland, and that's it. But he also has a decent leadership if you need that. Pretty good tier 2 passive to make him a little bit better. He's a character that I use pretty consistently to give myself a wave mode solo in Shadowland. So if you're looking for someone who can do later stages wave modes, go ahead and pick this guy up. Build him offensively for the ISO set, but give him an invincibility and maybe some max HP, and he'll actually surprise you. So yeah, that's it for the list, guys. Sorry this one's a bit on the longer side of things, but those are my top 10 villains in Marvel Future Fight, and those are my mentions. Let me know if there's any character that I left off this list that you think should have at least made the mentions. Till next time, boys, thanks for watching. Peace out.